Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Eternal Flames. My name's Blaze, and I'm going to be doing some animation here on the channel, which is going to take some due time. But rather than go into this elongated conversation about this and that, and how this channel was supposed to be and all that, I figured I'd just tell you guys a bit about what's going on, and how things are going to kind of roll from here. So let's get started. First, let's get rid of all the unnecessary stuff. Starting off with animation, you need a model. Modeling is a big part of the project and requires that you actually build a model from scratch. Seeing as I'm already got this model done, I'm going to go ahead and do you guys a favor, and I'm going to throw some stuff up on the screen. And I'm going to continue to talk about the modeling process just a little bit, which is more or less step one, and some of these steps can be removed within step one, but the two big ones are the actual modeling and sculpting. Modeling being the base building blocks, and sculpting being something a little bit more fine-tuned. Now, sculpting, you're going to actually super define stuff and things like that, but it's unnecessary. And there are people who say, well, the modeling half is unnecessary because they could just go into ZBrush, create the model, and set up the all the stuff there. The UVs, the polygons, the edge loops, all that technical stuff that you guys may or may not know. Now, after having said that, we come to step 2. Step 2 here is called rigging. Rigging is also a big process, and for that I'm going to need to show all this. And it can, once again, be broken into several pieces. In the case of basic rigging, we're going to talk about the fact that essentially we need to remove like all the NURBs here. That's remove. There we go. Rigging can basically be broken down into step 1, which is your basic skeleton. Your basic skeleton is going to make everything move, and for the most part, pretty simple. This is a step that is skippable, but generally you want at least a basic simple one. There are people who can, however, skip to the last step of this process and still make it look good. To those people, kudos, you guys are awesome. For the rest of us, we gotta make these skeletons, which, if you notice, can get kinda complex depending on how much movement you want in your character. The bones don't quite work like they do in the human body, or any other physical body for that matter, so there is some obvious tweaking that needs to kind of happen for this to work appropriately. The next step that pops in is you're going to need to put in basically IKs. Now what IKs are is they're parts that allow bending of joints and things like that. So let me go ahead and get rid of my polygons here. And you notice there are these little pieces kind of hanging off the edge here, connecting to these wires. These are IKs. These essentially allow you to make knee joints, elbows, things like that. Still a pretty easy process, but simple enough to go through. The thing that happens after that is what we call controllers. Now, controllers are a whole different shebang because this is where stuff starts to get complex. This is where you need to actually start doing tweaks and guidance, and with these controllers we can essentially, well, control things. Take a look, that's actually his tail right there. If I actually pop in polygons here, you can actually see that that moves a section of his tail. Sadly, I've got to kind of move multiples of these around to actually get anywhere. So I might need to grab this one, rotate it so far. It's because of the way I have mine set up. You can actually do this a little bit cleaner, but this gives me maximum control over everything, which is a big thing. Apparently I forgot to freeze transformation on all this. That's not... Oh wait, no, that's parenting. Never mind. I'm silly. Anyways, so there's all that. Sadly, I won't be able to show you in this model, so I'm going to have to load up another model, which is an old model of mine back from when I was in school. So let's open that up, and that would be blend shapes. Now, blend shapes are a bit weird, and they're the step after you do rigging and IKs and stuff like that. What makes them weird is you can set controllers to them. By the way, this is the old Leo model. If you notice, it's not as cool looking, but it's got the same basic shape. These up here control blend shapes. Now what I can do is I can actually move these around, and I can actually make him blink. I can move around different parts of his mouth, like, you know, his lip right there. I can actually move around like his jaw. Look at that. And, you know, all kinds of fun stuff. But blend shapes essentially allow me to manipulate a character based off of other shapes. So basically, I had to remake his face like a dozen different times and then attach these controllers. And now that I've got these controllers, I can basically adjust how those shapes happen, which is really cool, allowing me to adjust his face as I need be. Now, the final part to making a 3D animation is the animation itself. To kind of save your ears, I'm going to turn off my sound here, and the animation takes place piece by piece by piece. And a key thing to know here is people animate at different rates. To give you guys an idea, I can open up this menu, and it says real time 24 frames per second. Play every frame is going to play at the speed that my computer can just run at. Half is going to be 12, twice is going to be 80 or 48, which is essentially double normal speed of movie style recording. Now, actual animation is run on 30 frames per second. This is the credo. And generally it's shot on 2s, which technically means it's 15 frames per second with lip syncs on, 30. So lip syncs are 30, regular is 15. It's a weird process. 30 is what your eye sees, like normally every day. The blurs and all that are when things pass 30 frames per second and your brain just, there's just too much information, we just need to blur that. Okay. Then you got like Lord of the Rings and stuff like that, which is like 60 frames per second, and that's double the normal speed, and that's actually great for gameplay, not so good for good animation. It kind of loses some of the feel, which not really what you want. So 24 frames per second is generally what people go after, and what that means is that right there, those 24 frames, that's one whole second. To make things even more interesting, let's actually go in and we're going to grab like all of our curves and stuff. Let's we want to grab not IK handles. Here we go. So this is all of this. If I grab like all of these, those are all the frames. Matter of fact, let's just will this down to 24 real quick. For one frame of animation, that's all the frames for his face. Just his face, okay? You guys are going, well, that's not so bad. Okay, well, let's grab everything. Still not so bad, right? Then we go to 48. And all this is done one piece at a time. Some of these are multiple different pieces. Like some of these are hands, some of these are feet that all just happen to match up on the same frame. Which is kind of nice. But doesn't change the fact that that's the shebang of it. It can take hours just to do a couple of seconds. Which means to do a full-length animation of like, say, 20 minutes can take days, weeks, maybe months. And this is just one character. Once again, this is everything for one character. This is for about 48 seconds. And for 48 seconds, all this is done for just him. Now imagine 4 or 5 of him and you got like, a basic scene for any normal animation. Like say Steven Universe, where we've got, the 3 crystal gems. And then you got, Steven. So you got 4 times this amount of work just for 2 seconds. That's actually kind of amazing. Anyway, so that's the process. That's all the goodies and awkward stuff and things like that have to happen for stuff like that to, work. And that's more or less the rub of it. That's what I'm going to be doing for a little while. Some people can do this extremely fast. And to those people, kudos, you guys are awesome. Me, I haven't done this stuff in years. There's a lot of stuff I don't remember, especially on the rigging side, because I hated rigging. I still hate rigging. But I love animating. Animating to me is one of the funnest things because essentially you get to play with dolls the entire time when working with 3D. Once the model is made, once the actual model is made, I basically get to grab my controller and I get to, actually play with a doll and basically go, okay, I want him in this position, I want to move this foot forward. I said I want to move this foot forward. You bastard. And, you know, I got that pose right there, and suddenly the entire scene changes. Now he's stepping forward like he's trying to make a proposal, you know? It's like, he's almost got that noble, upright grace to him. Or maybe, you know, I want to make him more menacing, more grisly. I could take this. Stop it. Stop it. And I can actually tilt him forward ever so slightly. And then grab this. And tilt him even more forward. I really gotta turn off that background. But look. Suddenly, you know, that noble stance, he's almost got a hunch. He's almost got, you know, more attitude. Like he is about to, you know, either rip you a new one or just start yelling or screaming. Or he's brooding. You know, that's a possibility too. He's brooding. So this is the fun part. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of energy, but it's fun. That's what I need to get to. And sadly, I gotta go through all the other steps. The modeling, the sculpting, the rigging, the IKs, the blend shapes. I gotta go through all that so that I can make this as cool as possible for you guys. And that's gonna take time. And a lot of work and a lot of effort. And I'm not gonna say, well, you must appreciate my hard work because, you know, this takes so much more than making gaming videos. All work is work. Recording and editing is its own line of work. Animating is its own line of work. Digital design, its own line of work. This is all work. It takes different amounts of time, but it doesn't change the fact that it takes different skills and different abilities to do each thing, and some people can do some things, and some people can do other things, and everybody's good at something different. Okay? This is just something I want to do, and this is what I went to college for, like, 4 or 5 years for. Only be told, you suck at 2D, you should stick with what you're good at, and ironically the 3D is what I'm good at. Anyways, that's gonna be it for me right now. Hope you guys understand, hope you guys enjoy. This is kind of just me saying, hey, this is what I'm gonna be doing for a while, and in all due honesty, there's a lot for me still to do. I've got a lot of work ahead of me to get things going, but if you guys want to see something cool or something interesting, like maybe you want to see Leo here voice acted by the guy who does Goliath, we'll see if we can rip a couple sound clips from good old Goliath himself, from the old Disney films and animations, which, by the way, better part of my childhood. Or maybe we can give him a pink mustache and make him voiced over by Markiplier. I think Leo will look good with a pink mustache. It would match his purple complexion. Oh god, could you imagine Captain Ginyu with a pink mustache? For some reason, that suddenly appeals to me. I have no idea why. Anyways, take care, stay safe, stay well, and I want you guys to remember that, no, we're not stopping gaming and all that. This is a game, art, and animation channel. Some things are just going to take more time than others, and a different kind of skill set. So, yee. Later, everybody! Bye. Okay. So, we gotta get you some eyeballs. We gotta get you some teeth. We gotta get that.